So, New York Times reported that the new Superman will soon begin a romantic relationship with a male friend. And the person writing the book said the idea of replacing Clark Kent with another straight white savior felt like a missed opportunity. Yeah, so that is actually not Clark Kent. That is his son, Jonathan Kent. And I did look up this guy, Tom Taylor, because I was convinced this guy was going to have pink hair and glasses, but he did not have pink hair and glasses. But sometimes these writers do write themselves into the books. Like there's a book called I Am Not Starfire, and it's about Starfire's daughter. Now, if you've seen a picture of Starfire, she's like a orange, fiery goddess, kind of like so not ashamed about her body with like the skimpiest sort of outfit that you can have, and she's just joyous and a little hoochie, but not a little hoochie, she a lot hoochie. um but in this comic book she had a daughter who was like a fat short goth girl, and if you look, and even people who are fat short gay, and like this person was, I've seen them complain about the comic book and they look at the writer and they're like, this is clearly a self-insert. And I did read the book, it was awful. So I'm not surprised that DC Comics would do this. And there's a show right now on the CW, which they have a lot of LGBT stuff on the CW. Um a lot of LGBT stuff. And they have a Lois and Superman show, and in the show he does have two sons. And I'm like, it's only a matter of time. At least is my opinion. And with DC Comics doing this in the book, I definitely would think that one of those boys is probably going to be gay. And I don't mention because I think it's unrealistic for, I guess, that to happen. Um but man, they are trying so hard. They are trying so hard. And it's so obvious with the comic book industry and the direction that they're going. Like, and this Superman is like a left. They're like cares about climate change, and he tried to stop refugees from having to leave, and all these other issues that they're near and dear to their hearts. I'm like, whatever happened to, like, I don't know, punching Darkseid in the face? And I'm not saying they don't still do that, but they they have they take these characters that people love, that people created, and that were supposed to stand for truth, justice, the American way. And you have some people who don't even like those things anymore. Like you had Ta-Nehisi Coates writing, who's very nihilistic about America, not optimistic about America, has a very kind of dark view of America, and he was writing Captain America. And he's the one who made Jordan Peterson like the Red Skull, and it's like 10 rules for life, but it was 10 rules for chaos. And basically saying that, making a parallel to Jordan Peterson and Red Skull about how they lead, I don't know, young men to be Nazis, which is insane. But those are sort of people that they're hiring in the comic books world. And I don't understand why exactly. It seems like they're appealing to, maybe they've captured this audience now, because I don't know who still would read this garbage, because I don't read them anymore. We Wednesdays used to be a time when the family was like so excited to get the books. Like my dad, when I was young, he would bring them and it wasn't such a big deal. But gosh, I hated going in the car on Wednesdays, and dad would be like, "Oh, I'm just driving to the store." Like, your mom would go to the store and be like, "I'm gonna pick up one thing," and she's in there for like an hour. That's how my dad would be at the comic book store. And you pick out your books and you talk to people in the store about what's coming out, like what cool, like, memorabilia you can get. Like, we had a Thor's hammer, Captain America's shield before the movie, way before the movies came out. And my dad wanted to learn how to read because his father brought him home a comic book. So this is something that's like long standing in our family, and I don't like them anymore. and and I started, and there were just some bad stories that they had before, prior to like being injected with some crazy politics. But they are so devoted to the politics that it's beyond anything that makes sense. I'm like, do these people care about money anymore? And I'm not bringing this up because I don't believe that you should have representation, but But there's a time when you have representation and it's just straight up indoctrination. Like there are shows with LGBT characters that I straight up adore. Have you ever seen the show Revenge? Nolan, he was a great character. A great character. They have great characters who are LGBT, who, but when you're so devoted to telling your narrative rather than just letting a story breathe, that's when all your stuff is garbage. And that is why manga, which will have LGBT, gay characters in their stuff sometimes, depending on what it is, they are outselling DC. They're outselling Marvel. That's Japanese, comic books and stuff. They are outselling. They are outpacing. Even big books like Batman, they are outselling because they just tell their story. They just care about their characters. They don't care about all this politics. We can't even enjoy entertainment anymore because we're so devoted to ideology. And it drives me up a wall. It drives me up a wall. So, like, again, I'm not surprised that DC did this. Absolutely not surprised at all. And I'm not saying it's totally far-fetched, but it's totally reaching with the amount of things that they do as far as wanting to make their characters so political, make their story so political. And this isn't like a one-time thing. They also made Tim Drake, Robin, they made him gay. Or he's trying to figure it out. Well, he's been alive for a character for like 30 years. He hasn't figured it out yet. He hasn't figured it out. And there's older writers who have spoken up about this stuff, spoken against this stuff, and obviously the direction that these newer people are going, where they take these characters that are fleshed out, and it's like they hollow them out and have someone else wear their skin. I mean, they don't even feel like the characters they're supposed to represent, especially like Captain America. They had a book come out like 4th of July, and he's like, I don't even know what the American dream is anymore. I'm like, I don't want to read about this Captain America. I don't know who he is, but he's not Steve Rogers. He shouldn't wear that shield anymore. He shouldn't wear that outfit. And but really, those people shouldn't be writing those books. But you have people who have, I don't know, contempt for the nation. Maybe straight up Marx. I don't know, but people who don't even have a love for these characters, because if you had a love for the characters, you'd respect them and you'd respect where they came from. You wouldn't be trying to dramatically preach through them. You would create new characters to do that. So comic books are at a really bad place. Pop culture is at a bad place. And I don't know if they can feel like they can write the crazy stuff in the comic books, but I think eventually it will catch up more to what they're doing in different series and stuff. And you'll see that stuff on Disney Plus, and you'll see that stuff on CW or on HBO Max and so on. It'll bleed through and you'll see it everywhere. So I don't know, go buy manga. Like I don't watch pretty much any TV. I don't really read the manga and stuff myself too much. But I was really big on anime growing up, and I'm watching some stuff that I didn't finish right now as a kid. But they have good stories. It was always my dream, because I write books, a lot of fiction books, and it was always my dream to like write a book and it'd be adapted to like major movie screenplay, or like some of them TV shows and so on. And there's some I'm like, this would be perfect for the CW. And I'm like, especially since the CW never cancels anything. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be safe there. I'm like, not because I think it would be canceled, but I would hate for a story not to be finished. But now I'm like, I would never. And I said, you know what? I want to have a studio one day and just have all my stuff adopted into anime looking stuff and just stream it. Like that's what because these companies are so crazy. They're so crazy. And when you reach the point where they care more about narrative than they even care about making $1, that's scary to me. That is straight up scary to me. So some news that is ultra annoying to me, I just thought I would share. And It's really too bad. Like I said, we grew up with comic books. We love comic books. I have this is no exaggeration. I have thousands of books at my house. And like I said, we had Captain America Shield and Thor's Hammer before the movies and stuff were coming out. Um, you know, I think they call people who only watch the Marvel movies and stuff normies, when you're just like really into the movies and you're not like coming from like the knowledgeable world and stuff. We're pretty knowledgeable, like, and we used to be there opening night, and now I'm at the point where I don't want to see like any of that stuff personally. Um, and I didn't go see Shang-Chi for that reason, 'cause I think some of these companies are evil. And at some point we got to stop supporting the lunacy. So I've decided to make I've made my decision, and you guys can make it whenever you want to if you do. But that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. It's just too bad.